What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Passive Money. I'm Kirby. This is Alex. Today, we're going to talk about how to finance your first real estate deal. With that being said, Alex, you're going through the process right now. So let's give what approach you're taking and why.
What I'm doing as far as financing the property that I'm working with right now is I'm actually purchasing it as a primary residence. If I do it that way, I can, move into that property, put 5% down instead of remaining in my primary residence and putting 20% down. But in order to do that and move into that property, carry both loans, I have to lease out my current residence for rent. In order to carry both loans, I have to show that the rent that I would be collecting by leasing out my current residence for rent would be above what the current mortgage is. So it would write off that mortgage payment and show cash flow above that, so that the underwriters could see that I have an additional income and that I'm not just carrying massive debt, basically.
So you're not carrying the debt from both properties, and you're trying to make the payments, and it elevates your debt to income ratio, so it shows you have more income and less, according to the debt that you're carrying on.
Right, right. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, with the way you're doing it, what's some of the pros and cons that you see going at this endeavor that way?
The pros would be that I'm able to get into the rental game, I guess, with less money up front, instead of putting, 20% down or 25% in addition to all the other costs that are required. I can take advantage of putting less down. And but I mean, the con with that is, putting less down. It's great. I mean, it gets you access to that, but buying in order to put less down, you have to buy it as a primary residence. So you have to be willing to make that sacrifice in moving your entire family. Or if it's just you, that would be, I mean, a lot easier. But if you have a family, convincing that whole family to move into something maybe not as nice as your current residence could be difficult. And then, if you did decide to go about doing that, detaching yourself from the fact that you are currently living in your first or dream home or whatever.
Yeah, and that's a big part of it. It's ability to make sacrifices. Nobody who's ever, besides lottery winners, and I still feel lottery winners made sacrifices because they had to go through a lot of losses before they actually hit the lottery. But everybody that does something big or do something that's achievable, or big, like it's looks like a big achievement, like gaining rental properties or something like that. They had to make sacrifice to get there, no matter if it's sacrifice to come up with the money for the down payment, no matter if it's 5% or 25%. Like in your case, you already built a home and now you're going to exit that home and then move into a home that's, let's say, it's not as amenity friendly as the house that you live in. Um, but that's a sacrifice that you and your family decided to make so you can get into the game of rental property. So um, one question that one question, or what was the process of going through saying, you know, I'm willing to make the sacrifice? What made you go through that? What was that like for you, your spouse, things like that?
I mean, it's I'm just looking at the fact of just obtaining assets. So I mean, I know that a house is just a house, and if I build a real estate portfolio and I want a dream house again, I can just build one based off of the rents that I'm collecting. Um, Now for my spouse, I mean, she's definitely a lot more in love with our house, but she's at the same time is willing to make whatever sacrifices necessary.
Yeah, and that's good. And having people on board to make sacrifices is a good thing to have, so you can achieve your ultimate goal, and that's financial freedom, because that's what you're in the game for.
Now, okay, so I got a question. Would you and your wife be willing to make a decision like this?
Hell no. Uh, and the reason why is, I mean, could we make the sacrifice and do it? Yeah, but at the position we're at now, we wouldn't make the sacrifice. I mean, like you, I look at, houses is just a house. I mean, I've slept in tents before, slept in under trucks before. So a house is just a house. But once you've been in there, been in a place for a while, um, things established like this is my son's only house. He was born here. This is the only house he knows. Of course, he didn't move to Europe and back and stuff like that. So I don't think it's a big deal for him. The current location where I'm at, because I hate to drive, all the amenities are and all the shops and stores and everything is close by the house. Um, I would dread going somewhere and I got to drive more than 3 miles to get to a certain location, a store, restaurant, or something like that. So in our case, we just bite the bullet and come up with the money for the down payment of 25% down or 30% down, whatever what may have you, just to come up with the capital to put the down payment on the property. But where you at in your life, no matter age, I mean, we're old grumpy people, so it's harder for old grumpy people to do it, but they can do it. It's not if it was, let's say we was in your situation and we was wanting to get into the rental game, hell yeah, we'd make a sacrifice. Um, uh, like, I mean, why I'm saying it and how I know we'll make a sacrifice because our first home, we had that one built, 3,000 square feet, and we literally moved into a house that we moved into an apartment from that house. We moved into an apartment that was only 600 square feet, and I'll tell you, it had roaches. I didn't know when I did the walk to the apartment, but after being there for a couple days, I seen a roach here and there. I was like, oh, 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 watch out, bobbing and weaving, boxing with roaches. But besides that, so yeah, we would make the sacrifice, but at this point in our lives, no, we wouldn't. I salute you for what you're doing because I wouldn't.
Yeah. No, understandable. I mean, when you get to that point where you've built a good enough portfolio, you can afford that luxury anyway. So, but
Right. Yeah. Yeah, and then how I usually go at it in financing my first deal. Well, of course, my first deal I paid cash for the property because I got this tremendous deal coming off the financial crisis on the property. But the way to finance deals for me is getting the 20% down conventional loan. Um, like I said, of course, like you mentioned, having a portfolio and having passive cash flow coming from different arenas, building up that 25% is much easier, but when you get down in the game, however you get in the game is that's how you get in the game. If it's 5%, 8%, whatever it takes to get in the game, you just got to be practical and go for it and do whatever it takes to get in. Once you get in and you start building assets, building a portfolio, then you can be more selective in what sacrifices you and your family are willing to make. But again, I salute you on the way you did it. We take a slightly different approach. But again, I wasn't in the game in the investment game period, or even thinking at this financial sense that you are at your age. So I salute y'all on what y'all doing, and I hope this one properly works out, and we can hear about it once it's closed.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah. All right. With all that being said, thanks everybody for subscribing to the channel. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Thanks for the viewers for viewing the channel. Hit any comments if it's something that we missed out or you think you want to know about. Put it in the comment section below, and we'll be at you with the next video shortly. Have a good one.
See you guys.